Howdy folks, today we're playing Oil Control and Phyrexia All Will Be One Standard, built around Mindsplice Apparatus. Let's see how it goes in the ladder. Okay, opponent's going first here, and it's not a bad hand. I think we'll get the lead on this Tranquil Cove on turn one. See if our opponent is on mono red or not. Looks like they are. They're on some sort of big red strategy. Go ahead and pass the turn. So they need another mountain for this to gain a buff. And I think we're pretty happy to counter a Fable here with a negate. Not a bad draw. Okay, so we're gonna get hit for 4 next turn, this turn, unless we use a Fateful Absence here. See if they have a Koth or something. Opponent, is this Koth? The picture? Ooh, opponent doesn't have a land. Yeah, that's not good for them. Yeah, I don't see how this is gonna go well in any way, shape, or form for our opponent unless they have a Braid here. Yeah, they're gonna need it for 4, certainly. But we're hoping they don't have a Braid. It's possible they do. Yep, they have the Braid. I think we're just gonna try to do it again. Hope they don't have a second Braid. Cliff Stomper coming in. Do they have a second Braid? Doesn't look like it. Okay, that's good. That's good. So we can cast this for 4. Not quite what we want. I think we want to just hit some lands. I think we do only want to cast this for 3, so that way we can keep up a potential Fateful Absence. We could cast it for 4, and if we draw a land, keep it up. Yeah, okay, we're gonna cast it for 4. I'm convinced. We're gonna hit Deserted Beach and pass the turn. Still have Fateful Absence up. Opponent didn't do anything that turn. Koth. Okay. Opponent is Kothing.
For every Mirren who will retake this land from Phyrexia.
Okay, they got a mountain. I think we have to kill the Cliff Stomper, just save our life total here a little bit. Get an oil counter onto this apparatus, which is pretty nice. So I can keep up Essence Scatter if I do this for, let's see, so I have 2 cheaper, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And keep up Essence Scatter. But just also have, you know, gain 6 life and get 6 toxic creatures. Opponents can need a Brotherhood's End or something here. What we don't want to have happen is for us to get run over by the Karn emblem. So if they have a mass sweeper here, could get tough for us. Let's see what they have. Man, they do have it.
Tougher than you.
We drew that now. They did have to damage their own Koth for that though, so that is good to know. So we can do this for 7 this turn. But also have a negate up. And I think they've shown us that they don't have a really reasonable creature. So I think we're fine just having to get up for another Brotherhood's End. Apparently they did have a reasonable creature. Yeah. I didn't even read all the text on that bad boy, but it's getting a counter from me. Read it now. 6 mana, 4/4 flying, costs 2 less to cast if you have 9 or more cards in your graveyard. So it could be a 3 mana, 4/4. And it reads, whenever it enters battlefield, choose 3 cards at random from your graveyard. Hey, I'm trying to read that. I know we won, but come on. Choose a non-creature, non-land card from among them and copy it. You may cast a copy without paying its mana cost. Okay, well, it's not bad. Mindsplice Apparatus just got it done here, though. Opponent stumbled a little too much. And the White Sun's Twilight put a little bit too much work in. Okay, and we're back with the deck tech for Oil Control. And man, does this look a little weird how the deck is set up. It just looks like, oh my god, it's 2s and 4s. Sorry, it's taking me off my game a little bit here, but the whole goal of this deck is to get a Mindsplice Apparatus onto the battlefield, and what this does is it reduces the cost of our spells. So it has flash, artifact, 4-mana artifact. At the beginning of your upkeep, put an oil counter on Mindsplice Apparatus. Instant and sorcery spells you cast cost 1 less to cast for each oil counter on it. And what do we have? A bunch of instants and sorceries in our deck. In fact, basically all of this is instants and sorceries, except for Tablet of Completion, which is another oil related card. It also can help ramp for these twilight spells and whatnot. What that reads is it's kind of like Record of Bankbuster, Treasure Map. It's in that mold, but it's definitely worse, I would say. If you're not in an oil deck, but in an oil deck, well, we're not 100% like leaning into the oil theme, but if you're in an oil deck with a whole bunch of proliferate mechanics, maybe we should go that way, but it's not really how this deck is built. But you can eventually get up from the first mode, I would say, where you're just tapping to put an oil counter on it, to the second mode where it's a mana rock, and then to the third mode where it's 1 mana, tap, draw a card, which is absurd. It doesn't run out, which is absurd. Become an infinite source of card advantage, once per turn, if you get all the way on the oil counters, which it's going to take a long time, but you have Proliferate with the Experimental Augury. We also have the Monumental Facade, which is a really important card in this deck, and if you can fit it in with the colored mana you need to play, I think you can maybe go up more copies. It'd be pretty good. But this land, it enters the battlefield with 2 oil counters on it, and then it taps for generic mana, and also you can tap and remove an oil counter from the Monumental Facade, put an oil counter on target artifact or creature you control. We don't have any creatures really in this deck except for ones that you capture with Blue Sun's Twilight or that you make with White Sun's Twilight, but we do have artifacts, so putting an oil counter on Mindsplice Apparatus makes everything we cast yet another one cheaper. Tablet of Completion gets you another oil token, counter closer to having 5s. That way you can just tap 1 and draw a card. So that's a pretty good synergy there. Other than that, just a bunch of instants and sorceries. So depopulate, it eventually can cost 2 if you have the Mindsplice Apparatus. And we have a bunch of cards that go down to 1 mana when you have just even 1 counter with Mindsplice Apparatus. And that really levels up these cards. So Ested Scatter for just 1 mana is super powerful. Same with Negate. Experimental Augury is 1 mana. Look at the top 3 cards of your library, put 1 in your hand, and then Proliferate. So it's Anticipate with a Proliferate tacked on, which is super good in this deck for 1 mana. Fateful Absence, just a really house of removal spell. Creatures, Planeswalkers, also really good for 1 mana. And then the big reason we're playing Mindsplice Apparatus is because we have these X spells in our deck. We have White Sun's Twilight, Blue Sun's Twilight, and Silver Scrutiny. I'll start with the boring one. Everybody knows what Silver Scrutiny is. It's X, blue, draw X cards. That's it. And if you get a huge cost reduction with the Mindsplice Apparatus, you get a lot more cards. Blue Sun's Twilight is X, blue, same mana cost as Silver Scrutiny, but instead of drawing cards, you gain control of target creature with mana value X or less, and if X is 5 or more, create a token that's a copy of that creature. So you can steal a creature and then copy it, potentially. White Sun's Twilight is X, white, sorcery. You gain X life, which that's pretty good already. You saw it came up to play in the last game we just played. You get X life, create X 1/1 colorless Phyrexia white artifact creature tokens with toxic 1, and this creature can't block. This is our win condition, by the way. We're killing people with poison in this deck, and then if X is 5 or more, destroy all other creatures. So this can be a one-sided wrath, essentially, which is absurd. And you can make, 10 1/1s at once at sorcery speed pretty easily if you have the Mindsplice Apparatus on for a few turns and just kick your opponent out of the game that way. I mean, there's a lot of upside with this card. Pretty cool deck. I'm excited to see how it continues to do on the ladder, though. So let's go there. All right, we're back and we're controlling oil here, and this hand looks to be not bad. So we'll roll with it. Turn 1, Tranquil Cove. Turn 2, Seachrome Coast. Turn 3, Deserted Beach. All different water-themed beach sort of things, which are kind of funny, but all pretty good. I think what we are going to do is get this Tablet of Completion onto the battlefield, though. Although we did draw both Essence Scatter and Negate. I think just keeping one up or the other isn't going to be that valuable when we get the Tablet down this turn. We really want our counterspell up for turn 3 when we suspect our opponent is really going to try to go for something nasty. Yeah. We're going to pass the turn. Should I have tried to play the Facade that turn and plus on the Tablet? It's definitely possible. What do they got? Venerated Rot Priest. Yeah, we'll try to counter it. Do they have a Spell Pierce? Bring the Ending. Sure. They're gonna pass. We're gonna put an oil counter onto the Tablet. I'm gonna draw another Tablet. Yeah, we're gonna play, I think, another Tablet, and then plan to proliferate with the Augury this turn, and then hopefully depopulate next turn. We'll see what our opponent has, though. Opponent's gonna get in their damage, sure. Getting our poison. It's gonna be interesting how we deal with this Rot Priest. They're just gonna tap out, okay. Interesting. So we have to put an oil counter here first, so that way when we proliferate it means more. So we could gain control of a creature eventually. Which could be good. It's probably better than negate. Could just take the land though. Yeah, I think we're just gonna take the land. Submit these for proliferation. Untap. That way we can have the land. Depopulate. Sweep this board. And now we can keep negate up. And we can also... Oh, we can't keep negate up because I played it wrong. Yeah, I think we're just going to put oil counter here. And we'll keep the ability to draw a card up. Yeah, maybe I should not have done it that way. Okay. Well... See if we're gonna get punished. Ace and Toxic 3 coming our way. Fateful Absence was a solid draw. Yeah, I think we're gonna put a oil counter on this right now. I think, yeah, it is going to be worth it to just draw right now, so if we can hit a land. Doesn't look like we can. We can pass, though. Toxic 3 is a little tough. We can Essence Scatter and Fateful Absence something, though. So that'll be the plan here. Opponent doesn't have anything, okay. They're going to draw. What could be in our opponent's hand? Because they just have... The big ward haste one that you just can't kill. Like that's possible. That's what they have. Okay. I think it's worth a counter here. We don't really have ways to remove creatures at the moment, so that was a solid draw. So I think, yeah, we're gonna try to draw here again. Try to hit a land. We just can't do it. Put an oil counter on this tablet, and we'll go ahead and pass. And our opponent decides not to do anything, then we can Mindsplice. Is this worth a negate? Just for 1 poison? I don't think so. I think we want to get this apparatus down if we can. Start really getting the counters going, the proliferation with this augury, getting the discounts. It's going to be big. I think we're going to start with a proliferation here since it's free in regards to the Mindsplice trigger for the Silver Scrutiny. Gonna get a poison counter again, okay. Scrutiny, I think we're gonna be good on cards. We just are gonna, well, probably gonna be good on mana too. Yeah, we'll get to the beach. Submit all of these, yeah. And we'll pass. You're gonna gain a life. I mean, at this point, I think we're just bound to let those ones go. Okay, so cast this for. No, I didn't. I meant to cast that for 3. Dang. Well, at least this way we can keep up. Negator, Essence, Scatter still. Go to my turn. Play a deserted beach. And this experimented augury is free with respect to this White Sun's Twilight, so I guess we'll go ahead and do that. Get another White Sun's Twilight. Submit all here. And we want to keep up 3 mana. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think we cast. So 6 we can cast this for to keep up. Did I play land here? No, I didn't. Okay, 5 we can cast it for then. Okay, my math is incorrect. We can cast this for 5 then. Sure. Create our toxic creatures and get ready to hopefully kill our opponent. Do they have fading hopes and things like that? Gotta imagine they have some sort of creature interaction in their hand. It adds 1 mana of any color, and when it becomes tapped, each opponent who has 3 or more poison counters loses 1 life. That's fine. I don't really care about losing life. They can have that all day. Okay, we're gonna draw a card here. Okay, our opponent knows it's over. Interesting brew from our opponents. And yeah. I mean, we got there with overwhelming card draw eventually, but it was kind of scary for a while there with that venerated Rot Priest. That card is a house. Whew, alrighty. I think we escaped with one there, but GG's. Okay, our opponent's going first, but this hand does not have a lot of interaction. Kind of feels like one we should mulligan, but I'm going to risk it for the biscuit. They play a Rot Priest here. Okay, I was going to say. They play a Rot Priest here. We might just concede. Tranquil Cove, and go ahead. So this Cheatcomb Coast does enter the battlefield untapped. Okay, opponent is ramping. Mono Forest ramp. I think I'm going to keep up the augury this turn and keep up the semblance of the ability to counter something. Okay. Mana producer. Mana producer, sure. They have all the mana. I mean, that's something they have. Feels like they're gonna hit me with a big creature. Like maybe the Toxic 4 creature. This would be kind of cute if I could put a Saga counter on it. I'm gonna do it for funsies, see what happens. I don't think it matters for us. They get it either way, but I was just reading and seeing what it was gonna be like. Yeah, I think we're just gonna play that Tranquil Cove and pass here with the Fateful Absence up. Oh, I guess now they can attack with it. Yeah, that was stupid. That was stupid. We're probably gonna get beat in the face by a huge creature anyway. Sure. Okay, we're gonna get our spell there. Yeah, I think we just need to try to kill this likeness. Do they have a protection spell? Okay. Can we draw a depopulate to punish what we have going on here? Asking you shall receive. Let's go. Oh, thank you. Thank you for the nice punish. Oh, I will take it. Oh, what's going on, opponent? Why so sad? Why the good game, man? Why the good game? We just cast one to depopulate. What's going on? Sometimes you can speak a little soon. It's possible. It's possible that I started chatting a little too soon, all right? It's possible. Okay. Well... that would have been solid last turn. Can cast this for 5 and steal 2 rhinos. What does this do? 2 mana of anyone color. That's all it does. Okay. Alright, cast this for 5 it is. Give me that. Yoink. That was all I needed to see. Oh, I was just seeing what I wanted to yoink, man. I was gonna knock the shield counter off, and I was gonna cast the White Sun's Twilight. What's up, opponent? Where you at? You don't want to play anymore? Come on. GG's. Okay, our opponent's going first, and we have a slow hand here, but we have a plan. Opponent also leads on tap land. Get this tablet down. Just put this oil counter right away so we're not having any stick in priority or anything. Contaminator, yeah, that one's pretty good. So yeah, I think we're gonna just pass here. Potentially play this Fateful Absence, see what, depending on what our opponent's got going on. If they just attack, I think we'll try to Fateful Absence their creature. My guess is they have some sort of protection spell. Looks like they don't, though. Okay. Toxic Mechanic going well for our opponent. Oh, we did not draw what we needed to, but yes, we're gonna keep rolling with this Mindsplice Apparatus and hope it's good enough. Okay, we're gonna take 1 poison here, certainly. Okay, have it again. Okay. If we can draw some lands, I think this game can be over. Okay, that's a tapped land. So I think, yeah, I'm just meant to pass with this apparatus again. Play up another apparatus. And hope to get to a point where I can White Sun's Twilight. So next turn I'll have a 3 mana cost reduction. I should be able to cast this for 5, which will wipe the board. Get some life. They're gonna be able to double toxic here. They decided to not do that. Another apparatus. Alright. We're casting this for 5. What's our big swing? Well, we could have cast it for 6, I suppose. Think about that. Alrighty, well that was what we had. Now we have Silver Scrutiny. If our opponent just continues to make a huge board, we're probably not too great of a shape. NX Century, sure. Gonna get our tablet or a creature. Get a creature, that's fine. Another spawning, sure. They do have a land, they're gonna pass. We're gonna put another oil counter on this tablet. Peasant Scatter's not bad. So we can pay 5 here for 2 mana. That'll be what we do then. Okay, we did finally hit some lands. Did I play this tablet? Or what am I up to here? Might depopulate on this board. I think I'm going to actually just jam and then depopulate. And that way I can keep the Essence Scatter up as well. And then also put a counter on this tablet and I don't have to discard. Got the hive going, sure. Got another hive? Another firewall spawning, jeez. This card has put in work for them this game. They decided to not flash it back. It's very interesting. White Sun's Twilight. Yeah, that's not bad. What can we cast this for? It's at 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I think we cast this for 10, just regular old 10. And that way we can keep up an Essence Scatter. See what our opponent has. Go ahead and pass the turn. Now we have 10 toxic critters threatening to attack our opponent. You can block one of them with the viral spawning, but I think they know that they can't really beat what we have going on. GG's. Let's go to the wrap up. And we're back with Oil Control, and honestly, I think this deck has a lot of potential. Just the plan of Mindsplice Apparatus into X-Spell that dominates the game is pretty absurd. I mean, I'm pretty high on that combo. Things that would change with this deck is I think the amount of X spells are probably good. I think the White Sun's Twilight is just far and away the best X spell when compared to Blue Sun's Twilight. So I think I would probably add a 4th White Sun's Twilight and go down a Blue Sun's Twilight. Not sure if you should just cut the Blue Sun's Twilight entirely and go Force Scrutiny, Force White Sun's Twilight. It's definitely possible. Both of those cards are gas when you have an apparatus in play. I think if you can, you're going to want to include another Monumental Facade or 2 in the mana base. Having 2 would be really tough to start casting your spells, and maybe having 2 more, and maybe just having 2 alone, just these 2 is the way, but that card is really, really pretty good at giving you an oil advantage. But I think you can leave it at 2, mostly because of the next thing I'm going to say. I'm going to say I don't think Tablet of Completion is good enough in this deck right now, as this deck is currently constructed. It did some work, it drew us some cards, but I think just getting to our end game and getting to a point where you can just Mindsplice Apparatus your opponent is going to be more important. And honestly, this card doesn't really exist in blue-white, but if this was just a 2-mana mana rock that you could tap and add mana and cast this Mindsplice Apparatus on turn 3, we would be way happier with that than what we currently have in the tablet of completion. So definitely some work to be done around this deck, around the tablet. And then I think you can definitely mess around with the removal suite. You definitely need a lot of sweepers in this deck if you're going to go. I mean, you know, we're pretty light on the removal here. We have the 40 populate, and then the White Sun's Twilight is kind of like farewell in this deck in the sense that it's just your big cost sweeper. It's also win condition in this deck, which is just absolutely absurd, and this card is absurd. So I think maybe just go up another White Sun's Twilight and maybe call that a day. If you do cut the table of completion, I think the experimental augury gets a lot worse, and you don't really need to build around the oil mechanic as much. You can just let the Mindsplice Apparatus do its thing. So I think those are potential areas to upgrade. Maybe you can cut the tablet, you can cut the experimental augury. You have like 7 or so flex slots. You can decide if you want to dedicate those more to aggro or whatnot. A card like the Wandering Emperor would be really good in this deck. The problem is it's not instant or sorcery, so I think you're going to need to find just a really solid on rate instant or sorcery. You know, if there were a really good command or something like that effect where you could make it cost less and put in more work that way, I think it would be pretty nice. But other than that, I think having 2 mana instants and sorceries, especially instants, is the way to go, because then you can just do so much. You can, you know, cast the Mindsplice Apparatus at the end of your opponent's turn. You can untap, and now you're gonna have 5 mana plus 1 discount, so that just opens you up to so many different avenues. You can play a Silver Scrutiny, you know, X equals 3. It'll cost you 4, and so now you'll have 1 mana up still, and that can be used for Essence Scatter, negate, you know, whatever you have. It's interesting. You can take this deck in a lot of different ways, but I would say the potential for this deck is really high, and I would mostly just lean on this deck's raw strength with the apparatus into the White Sun's Twilight and try to build a better core around that. So that's your guys' task for the day. See, if you have cards you think would fit perfectly in this deck, please put them in the comments below. I would love to hear your thoughts on that. If you like this deck, you'll probably like the last deck I made on green-white toxic in Phyrexia all will be 1 standard. So go ahead and check that out. It's on the end card on your screen right now. And until next time, wherever you are, whenever you are, have a magical day.